welcome back, everybody. I am here with Gerard Top G. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Can't wait for another pay-per-view event. It's not as good as 300, but it's still a good one. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be a banger. UFC 301, like these pay-per-view events are typically like pretty stacked. But before we talk about that, why don't we just touch on the Lakers, man? What happened?
We put out a good fighting chance. We were almost gonna go head to Lakers in seven, but we couldn't make free throws. So
Uh,
we basically watched the finals. That was the NBA finals in round one.
yeah, for those of you that don't know, Gerard is from LA, and after Lakers won Game 4, he posted a little picture that said, "Don't let us win one." And they went on to lose the game to Jamal Murray again, so I was really happy about that.
Hey, Warriors
Um,
didn't even make it.
yeah, I mean, I can't really talk, man. Fuck. But okay, let's get started with UFC 301. So we're back with best bets. Oh, actually, before that, man, we have to talk about the last UFC event, man. Just at least for me, man, shitty picks. I think it's been like 2 weeks in a row. Last week I had Kyle Machado as my best bet. He lost 29-28 unanimous decision. Man, I mean, looking back, I still feel like that was a good pick. Like, had he not gotten knocked down in the first round, like in the last 10 seconds, I think he won that round. But I mean, I don't want to make any excuses, right? So, bad pick by me. It's been, yeah, it's been tough, man. So, I'm definitely looking to get back on track. I know that I can, and so I just want to say sorry to the pure pickers. But we're gonna get back on track. Gerard, how about you?
Yeah, I got half of my best bet right. So it was Uros Medic and Matthias Nicolau parlay. And Urus Medic, I had a feeling that he would be able to get a finish, a knockout in that fight, and he got it early. And as for Nicolau, I guess we can't really trust his chin, his durability in a big main card fight like that. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to trust Nicolau, even though I think he's the more skilled fighter. His durability just not able to withstand the punishment.
Yeah, so I mean, we both served up some hot L's last week. But man, we're looking to get back on track, and I hope this event is the one where we're gonna get back on track. So, without further ado, Gerard, why don't you tell pure pickers what your best bet is for this card?
So this card, I'm more confident on this one. Last card, I wasn't risking that much. This card, I'm going to be upping the ante a little bit. So I have a two-leg parlay of Petrino and Joanderson Brito as my two Brazilian favorites here.
Um, yep. So those two come out to currently minus 114. Tell the pure pickers why you have Petrino as your first leg.
So I got Vitor Petrino as my first leg because he's just a brick house of a man. He's getting better everywhere, and his fighting IQ has been improving. He hasn't been rushing fights anymore. He's got that power, the patience, and the pressure. And with that big, strong frame, it's hard to uh, to face that. And now he's facing Guskov is coming back 2 weeks in a row. Um, my mistake. This is Lionheart. This is dude. This guy is old. He has so many fights under his belt, and he's been looking worse and worse fight to fight. And I don't think his durability is going to be good here against Petrino. I think Petrino's probably going to get a finish in this fight in Brazil. And this could be Petrino's second retirement fight opponent in a row. So I think Petrino can handle this pretty well.
Yeah, I agree with this leg actually. I mean, he is minus 550 for a reason. Just to show pure pickers, let's see what he opened up as. Yeah, so minus 400, now a minus 550. It makes sense. I mean, Anthony Smith got beat up by Khalil Roundtree, uh, and, um, which isn't like a bad loss because Roundtree's fighting Jamal Hill now. Um, but you know, Petrino is just as dangerous, if not more, than Roundtree. And so this leg definitely makes sense. I think that's pretty safe giggle log. It's a minus 550. Um, and it's interesting because, you know, believe it or not, I mean, like I'd love to see Petrino against some guy like Alex Pereira, you know, in not in terms of like the stand up, obviously, but Petrino is like a guy that can, you know, once he gets a hold of you, he can easily, you know, just from sheer power and strength, just manhandle you and get you down onto the mat. And obviously, Lex Pereira, you know, lacks the grappling and wrestling game. So, you know, like if I'm comparing Petrino, I'm saying a Petrino and Alex Pereira fight can be quite enticing. I think that pretty much means, at least in my eyes, that Petrino's should easily handle Anthony Smith. Uh, so I like that first leg. So tell pure pickers why you have Joanderson Brito as your second leg.
So Joanderson Brito is facing a 17-1 fighter, Jack Shore. But when I look at Jack Shore, his UFC wins and his UFC opponents, most of them are no longer in the UFC. So that record might be a little inflated there. And I think Jack's easiest path to victory is to kind of do a version of what JSP was able to do, grapple, slow down Brito's aggressive and pressure, and just slow down the Brito train. And I think it would be hard for Jack to do that because it's hard for me to imagine if Jack is standing up with Brito that he doesn't get hurt. I think from what I've seen some bad shots that Jack has taken in the past, and he's been knocked down and whatnot. So in Brazil, maybe like a Brito friendly crowd, he's hyped up. I It's hard for me not to see some some fireworks in this one. And when there's fireworks, I'm going on the side of Brito. And as for some things on Brito, he just has the more dangerous style everywhere, whether it's submissions, power on the stand up, early finishes, and again, home crowd. Judges may be swayed by the damage and excitement that Brito brings. So um I got Brito in minus 138, but now the lines moved pretty much, I think. So I think I got in pretty early and alerted the pure pickers early on, uh earlier today. Oh, yesterday.
Yeah, so just for the pure pickers, he opened up at a minus 120. So bet down to minus 170. So a lot of action on Joe Anderson Brito. And, you know, one thing that I really like about Joe Anderson Brito is, you know, the finishing capability, right? If you watch his last fight against JSP, first two rounds down on the scorecards, but he's able to pull off that submission, I think it was. Yeah, ninja choke out of nowhere. And so this guy's just very dangerous. So I think, you know, I think it makes sense for him to be, you know, I thought it made sense that it opened up as, you know, kind of like a pick 'em. Um, but, you know, I see why Joe Anderson Brito is uh, being bet so heavily. So, Those are the two legs, Joanderson Brito and Vitor Petrino, two-leg parlay. It's currently at a minus 114. So you guys can get into that and hopefully that cashes. Now for my best bet. So I don't really have a best bet, to be honest. I think I'm on like a cold streak, so I don't want to, you know, there's nothing that's standing out to me. Just because like all of the prices are very high. You have Ismael Bonfim minus 550, Michelle Pereira minus 600, Kyle Bohalio 600, Petrino 550. I feel like, one of them is gonna bust. Like, just always happens that way. So I would caution against just throwing all of these favorites into a parlay. But what I will give you guys is a bet that I'm leaning towards. I already have a unit in already for this bet, but uh, just for you pure pickers, it's going to be Pantoja to win by decision. So that's plus 285 right now. And so like I like this pick because, first of all, I rate Erceg very highly. I think he's a very good fighter. Um, when he came in and beat that ranked fighter,
Match Schnell
no,
or
not Matt Schnell,
Petrino?
Dvorak,
Oh
super
yeah.
impressive um, coming into that fight. And ever since that fight, to then go on and beat Alessandro Costa and Matt Schnell, super impressive. I definitely rate Erceg very highly. But the reason I'm giving Pantoja to win by decision here is because I think that it's just going to be a huge step up in competition, even from those guys that Erceg beat. And I don't see Pantoja finishing Erceg just because Erceg is super durable. He's great grappling, so I don't think he'll get submitted either. Um, it's definitely going to be a sweat. I think, the way Erceg fights, he likes fighting in the pocket. He likes being in, you know, that danger zone, and so does Pantoja. Like he'll get hit as well. But I just see Pantoja edging this one out and winning by decision. So give me Pantoja by decision plus 285. Draw, what do you think about that pick?
This pick, I'm actually on the Aussie side.
Damn.
I'm not with Pantoja. I think that I mean both these guys kind of don't have a weakness in
Hmm.
MMA. They're
Yep.
pretty well rounded and they both have pretty good bases in grappling. I would give Erceg the advantage in the striking and the stand up. He looks more cleaner and precise. Pretty good boxing. However, Pantoja does have that power, especially early on. And this fight, I think this fight can go past 2 rounds. And I know Pantoja is going to be really dangerous in the first two. I think that if Erceg gets past, uh, stays alive after the second round, I think Pantoja's defense kind of wanes and his cardio and his stand up defense kind of gets slow or tired or kind of sloppy. And I
Hmm.
think in the next 3 rounds, there's a chance that Ursa could piece up Pantoja for the final 3 rounds of the fight, which I think can happen. And for the plus money, I went with the Ursig with this one, but
Yeah,
it is in Brazil too. It's kind of scary though, but yeah,
I think you definitely bring up a good point. If we look at Pantoja's last fight against Royval, he was able to get wrestle Royval down and kind of hold him there across 5 rounds. But he's going to have a way more, difficult time holding Erceg down. Like I just don't think that's going to happen. So you definitely bring up a good point. It's I think also, yeah, I agree with you. Pantoja should win the first 2 rounds for sure. And Pantoja always looks like towards the third, fourth, and fifth round, he always looks like he's gassing. Like he has like this
yeah.
it looks like he's gassing, but like he's able to kind of push through it and fight through that gas. So it's actually very interesting. Uh, but you know, Erceg, it's going to be a tough challenge for Pantoja for sure. I think it'll come down to that third round. That'll decide it. And man, I just think that Pantoja's the ultimate dog. You know what I mean? Like he's just so much heart and so skilled, so technically skilled everywhere. So yeah, I like Pantoja. You like Erceg. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that'll conclude our best bets for UFC 301. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. It would help us out. We would appreciate it. And Gerard, you got any last words?
I think we're set. Uh, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's completely free. And yeah, and if you want to join the membership, purepicks.gg is where it'll be.
Definitely. All right, guys, we will see you guys next week. Um, oh, Derek Lewis against Nascimento. So, I I love heavyweights, so that'll be a banger as well. But thank you guys, and we will see you all next week.